All right. Next bonus build is one of our most popular use cases as well. It's just like document processing. You can think of this as invoice processing, or it's like extracting information from contracts, all of the above. It's super powerful, especially we're going to go through some really cracked like document extraction prompts, as well as like a QA agents that reviews the work and makes sure that we achieve a desirable output. So it's going to be a ton of fun, and we're going to jump right into it. All right, another super popular Lynda use case is document and invoice processing. There's a lot of ways to process documents. I've seen some pretty wild ones with, say, having paths of 20 different document types and really specific prompts. But just to show you the ropes, we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to do one invoice together, and then feel free to redo this process on different documents that you might have. You can see in the top left, I've already renamed my agent, invoice processor agent, just to help me stay organized. And I'm also just going to favorite this one so it's near the top of my agents. Now, we always need a trigger. We need to let the agent know when to wake up. In this case, I want my agent to wake up in 2 different types of times. Maybe one if I give Lindy the file manually, if I give the agent the file manually, or 2, maybe I also have a payable at Lindy email that I want to receive emails from. So I'm going to go ahead and right click add trigger, and I'm going to use chat with this agent, message received. So this will allow me to accept messages like manually, and I can just drop attachments in the chat. But I also have my payable email, so I'm gonna add another trigger. I'm gonna add email received, just a Gmail one. Email received, just like that. And invoices always come in attachments, so I'm just gonna restrict by attachments only messages with attachments. But sometimes other documents get sent to my payable email. So I'm gonna add a condition right here. Go to this path if the attachment is an invoice specifically. And so that will just only allow it to pass if it's an invoice. And I always just like renaming these just for sake of organization. Is it an invoice? Yes. All right, great. Now, in this case, the documents will be in context from an email received or message received. So you don't need to worry about downloading any files or anything like that. What I'm going to do is click add condition, agent step. I'm going to drag this guy here too. Now, like we know, by now, agent steps are like a really great utility tool for just doing lots of thinking and dealing with ambiguity. And you can get kind of creative with the prompts. So, for example, I think I'm just to give you a high level overview of what I'm going to do here is this is going to be, just to rename, the like extractor. And then I'm going to have another agent right after. And this agent is going to be the QA agent. So I guess this could be named anything. Naming just for aesthetic, but just so you have an idea of what we're doing. Now I'm going to be really particular about this prompt. So I'm going to say here. I'm going to say here. You are a meticulous forensic accountant with 20 plus years of experience in accounts payable. You have an eagle eye for detail and never miss critical financial information. This one I'm not necessarily using our typical agent prompt. I'm just gonna kind of freestyle and have some fun with it. And I've identified a few attributes beforehand. So if you look at my spreadsheet, actually, I made a spreadsheet, and these are the attributes I always want for my invoices. Obviously this is just a test example. You probably want to extract some more information. You can extract like invoice number, some other information about the customer, anything that you typically need from your invoices. But just for example's sake, these are the attributes that we care about. Now, if I head back to invoice processor, so because those are the attributes I care about, I'm going to just let the agent know. I want you to extract the following information with absolute precision. Maybe like colon. Supplier company, supplier address, customer company, customer address, issue date, due date, total due, items. Let's see. Honestly, I forgot the last one. Let's see. Unit amount. And then, I'm just going to make these bullets real quick. So the agent has a great idea of what we're looking for.
although it honestly would probably not make a difference. But this also just makes it a little bit easier to read. All right, great. Change the total amount. Now, important, if you cannot confidently find an attribute, leave it blank. You know, I don't want my agent to ever hallucinate. So like, you never hallucinate. You know, I'm just gonna give it some instructions, and then I need to let it know when it can stop. And so I'm gonna say your task is complete when you have thoroughly gone through the document and either extracted all the information or identified you need to leave an item blank. You know, just like that. All right. Now we have our exit condition just right here. So I'm going to say exit once you have extracted all of the information. Great. I'm just going to rename this so it looks a little more pretty. Extraction complete. Now we're going to head over to our QA agent. And for this QA agent, we're going to, again, have a little bit of fun with it. So I'm going to head over here, and I'm going to say, you are a senior audit manager reviewing extracted invoice data. Verify the previous extraction is complete and accurate. You know, so I'll just give it a little bit of a persona. And then I'm going to just also give it some guidelines. Like, I want it to be really diligent. Review the extracted data against the invoice attachment and check 1, all required fields are captured. Unless they cannot be found, then it's okay to leave blank. 2, mathematical accuracy. Like, think about how line items sum up to subtotal, tax calculations, all of the above. Like, think about all the nuances. 3, date formats are consistent. 4, currency symbols and amounts match. 5, vendor information is complete. You know, I just want my agent to be really careful for these things. So I'm giving it these type of instructions. Then I'm also going to let the agent know if you find any errors or missing data, extract the correct information. If the extraction is perfect, confirm with verified and the validated data in a structured format. You know, so we have this extractor agent, we have the QA agent. We should be ready to go. Now, if you want to like really dial this up a notch, you could switch the model to smartest. You know, in this case, I think Sonnet will be okay. But if you want to be really particular, you know, O3 would be great at this, just a little more expensive. And now the last step is I want to append a row. So I'm going to head over here and append row. And we are going to, let's see here, pull up our docs, add the spreadsheet, sheet 1. You know, we're just going to leave this all in auto. You know, I have faith at this point that the agent will know what to do. And then we also one more thing we forgot. We need to let the agent know when it's complete. Your task is complete when you are done verifying and QAing the data. All right, great. So I'm going to say exit once, quality check is complete. You know, let's just rename this so it looks a little pretty. QA complete. All right, awesome. We're ready to go. Let's turn on this agent, turn it on, and now let's run a test. All right, so I have this test agent right here, or this test invoice right here. I'll just go ahead and close this guy. Oh, now if we head over to our task view, let's upload this invoice into the chat and just hit play. We can see the agent has been uploaded in. Let's see our agents go to work. All right, I'll analyze this invoice with forensic precision. I like what I'm hearing. Invoice information extracted. Like, yeah, like at first glance, this honestly looks pretty good. It found some other information. Found like some currency, email. You know, extract all information pretty quickly. Now we have our QA agent, you know, as your senior audit manager. You know, all the ones have been collected. Mathematical accuracy, date format, currency. Yeah, this is looking pretty great. Invoice verification approved. This is all the information we extracted. Quality check complete. Now we are appending the row. And just like that, if we head over to our thing, we got Yeah, this is great. All extracted. It looks accurate. Let's just do a spot check. You know, the address, you get 126. Yep, 126, 75 Hamlin. Looks pretty good. And this is also like a honestly, pretty easy invoice. But like, man, I will tell you, these models are insanely good at image recognition, and like, you think you'll throw out curveballs and it'll just surprise you. So I encourage you to definitely push this to the limit, especially if you have like a really cracked prompt and QA agent like this example.